This conference will now be recorded.
चतुर्मुखसमारम्भम् वाग्भटाचार्यमध्यमम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्परम्। रागादिरोगान् सततानुषक्तान् अशेषकायप्रसृतान् अशेषान् औत्सुक्यमोहारदिदान् जघान यो पूर्ववैद्याय नमोऽस्तु तस्मै। In our last session, we could not conclude the session properly because of some technical lag. So I would like to remind you all where we were and what we were trying to conclude. We were discussing about the Samsarga Sannipada Upakrama Tattva, and we concluded the Prithak Dosha Upakrama Tattvam. Upakrama Prithak Doshan Yoyamuddishya Kirtida Samsarga Sannipadeshu Tam Yadhasvam Vikalpayed. This is what we were discussing, and then the connection between this Samsarga Dosha Chikitsa and the Ruducharya. Graishma Prayo Marutpitte Vasanda Kabhamarude Marudo Yogavahitvad. That we saw Marutaha Yogavahitvad. Yogavahi, everybody knows what Yogavahi is. There are many detailed explanation for what Yogavahi is, and sometimes when you have multiple descriptions, you will get more confusion than clarity. That is another problem when you go through a number of Vyakhya, Tippani or Tika for the same word, sometimes in different context as well. So in this context, Hemadri gives a very beautiful or very crisp explanation for what Yogavahi is. Yogam idi sambandham, vahadi nirvahati, dvidiyasya anusaranena idi Yogavahi. So Yogam vahadi idi Yogavahi. Tena pittayuktasya vayoho pittaghnena upashandihi, kabhayuktasya kabhaghnena. And that is what we are seeing here. Graishma prayo marutpitte vasanda kabhamarude marudo yogavahitvad. So in Vada Pitta Samsarga, we are going for Graishma Charya. And in Vada Kabha Samsarga, we are going for Vasanda Charya, Vasandartu Charya. And the explanation is Marudo Yoga Vahitvad. Kabhapitte tu Sharada. Kabhapitte tu Sharada. Actually, Sharat is the Pitta Prakopa Ritu. Sharat is Pitta Prakopa. So, there we are dealing with the Kabhapitta Chikitsa. I think we explained a lot about it. What is the importance of this Kabhapitta combination, about the Agnishomiyada of the Sharira. All these things we explained yesterday, sorry, the last session. And also we have to notice that the difference between Graishma Charya and Sharada Charya, Sharat Charya, they are, see, one is Ruksha Ushna, the other one is Snigdha Ushna. So that concept also should be there in our mind. There are differences in the application. So that is what we were trying to conclude in our last session. Now we will start what is next. Let us see. These are some general principles. These are some general principles which are coming under this Upakrama. Chaya eva jayedosham kupitam tvavirodhayan sarvakobe baliyamsam sheshadosha virodhataha. Chaya eva jayedosham kupitam tvavirodhayan. Sarvakobe Baliyamsam Sheshadosha Virodhada. This is the next line. So Chaya eva Jayed Dosham. Dosham Chaye eva Jayed. That is what we are supposed to equip ourselves with. Chaye eva Jayed. But that is more about theory than about practice in our current scenario. That does not mean that there can be conflicts between theory and practice. The thing is, we should go back to our previous chapter and see what Chaya originally meant. Vriddhi is of two types, Chaya and Kopa. Vriddhi is of two types, Chaya and Kopa. And we have seen how these things are explained. Chayo vriddhi swadhamnyeva pradvesho vriddhi hedushu viparita gunechaja. Chaya eva, sorry, chayo vriddhi swadhamnyeva. Then what are the presenting features? Pradvesho vriddhi hedushu viparita gunechaja. So that is a very early stage of a disease process. No specific symptoms indicating the samprapti. It is just like pradvesho vriddhi hedushu viparita gunechaja. So the subject, the person who is going through the chayavastha of a dosha, which eventually is going to the stage of vriddhi, causing the manifestation of disease, need not necessarily understand that he is getting into a mess. That is why I am telling that this is more about theory than about practical. But that is not the problem with the theory. That is not the issue with the theory, the integrity of the theory. But practically, the human being, especially in the present situation of very fast life, the life which is not in lockdown period, but in general, we are all rushing behind something or the other, and hardly we understand what is the situation of our body today or at this time, this moment. So you may not be able to get somebody who is conscious about these sort of trivial changes happening. That means pradvesho vriddhihedushu viparita gunechaja, all these things. Even in the first stage of koba, you may not get. He may push himself through the stage of koba to the maximum extent, and only when he is no more able to move further, then only he will be looking into the situation seriously and seeking some advice. So that is why I'm telling that this need not be very practical all the time. But as an ideal situation in the textbook, what is explained is always about an ideal situation. According to that ideal situation, chaya eva jayed dosham. Then, as we discussed, that stage need not be properly identified. You may just pass through the chayavastha and you may end up in kopa. Then kopam, kopastu unmargagamida linganam darshanam swesham aswasthyam yoga sambhava. So it is going to end up in yoga sambhava. And there are stages of aswasthyam, swesham linganam darshanam by the doshas. So it is easy to catch up with the stages of kopa than with chaya. So there is every possibility. And while explaining the difference between chaya and kopa, we have gone through a lengthy discussion that kopastu unmargagamida means it is the trespassing of the doshas into the territory of dushyas. Dushyas cover everything. everything which is going to get afflicted by the dosha, and putting them in a situation of morbidity. So that is the Unmarga Gamanam, Kopastu Unmarga Gamida, Unmarga Gamanam. Apatha Sancharam, going through a pathway, route, or course of events which it is not supposed to go through in Samya Prakriti. So that is why it is becoming Vikriti, and that is why it is ending up in a Vyadhi. So Kopa should be understood that way. So whenever you are addressing a situation of a Kopa, you have to consider two things. Number one, the dosha involved. Number two, the pathways, the course through which it has gone, which we otherwise call as the Unmarga Gamana. So in Kopa, we have to consider multiple things. Number one, the Vriddha dosha. Number two, the elements with which it has engaged in the sort of interaction, what we technically call as Murchanam. So whenever we are discussing about with Kopa, we have to consider the Murchanam, dosha, dushya sammurchanam. And the word Virodha, Virodham, Kupitam tu Avirodhayan. Virodha is used in multiple contexts. When we are discussing with the Viruddhashanam, Viruddha Bhakshanam, we use the word Virodha. That is a very prominent context of Virodhi. And that context explains Virodha or Viruddha as something which is Dhadu Viruddha. Something which is Dhadu Viruddha. That should be kept in mind. So when you are discussing with the Viruddha, you have to consider that point as well. Avirodhayan means not causing any virodha. So whenever you are treating a Kupida dosha, Kupidam tu Avirodhayan Jayed, there are two possibilities. Number one, you are not supposed to bring about virodha to other doshas by your intervention. Number two, you are not supposed to bring about virodha to the dushya parts. That means dhadu, mala, srotas, all other elements which can be listed under the category of dushya. This is very important for multiple reasons. Number one, it will make, I think some mic is on and creating lot of unwanted noises. So which is quite distracting, especially when we are talking about some very subtle aspects. I think these noises will be creating a lot of distractions. Fine, let us come back. So when we are talking about Kupitam tu Avirodhayan, Kupidam dosham Avirodhayan Jayed. Number one is don't make any issue with your intervention to other doshas. Very important. Nice, good. That is the direct meaning. But on a finer side, the dosha upakshutini the dushya, especially the dhadu, srodas, all these things are very crucial. This is important because that is going to decide the reversibility of the condition. The reversibility of the condition. Sometimes, even if you are making your intervention with all pure intention, your intervention itself can be destructive to the system, devastating to the system, making the particular situation more worse, further worse, and simultaneously igniting, switching on new disease situations that can cause the onset, the further switching on of a new samprapti. So that is why that aspect of explaining kupitam tu avirodhayan is gaining importance. The other one is a direct equation. That means when you are treating one kupita dosha, make sure that it is not causing the problem for other dosha. Fine, that is a simple equation. But on the finer side, it should not be against the dushya, because it can affect the sadhya sadhyada, it can end up in permanent handicap, it can trigger on a new samprapti. So this should be understood in total. This is very important in our present context. See, when you are trying to deal with a condition of COVID-19 or something else with a very dangerous molecule of maybe hydroxychloroquine or something like that, you may be at one point succeeding in contain the disease, but you have to be very careful whether, and you have to question, you have to think yourself whether this is kupitam tu avirodhayan, whether this is going to make any damage for the dushyas in the system, whether that damage can turn fatal at one point, which even otherwise could not have happened if you leave the disease untreated. So these are all possibilities. You take any case, when you are treating a simple fever, when you address the dosha kopa and give one medicine, and if that medicine is going to trigger on another dusha channelizing and creating a further worse disease onset, that should not be resorted on as a treatment. So all these things are coded in this line, this first line, chaya eva jayed dosham kupitam tu avirodhayan. Then sarvakope. This sarvakope makes the equation much simpler, as I explained earlier. That just means that when you are treating one dosha, it should not hinder with the activities of other dosha. In sarvakopa, you have to make some sort of a priority, and that priority should be baliyamsam shesha dosha virodhataha. So it is a simple equation, and you need not go for a complex explanation as I did in the case of kupitam tu avirodhayan, because it is much simpler. But interestingly, when you go through the same context in Ashtanga Sangraha, he will be giving a lot of options. Kramad marutpittakabhan sarvatra sadruse bale vadadinam yatha purvam yada swabhavigam balam. So there is one option. Kramad marutpittakabhan jayed. Kramad marutpittakabhan jayed. That is one option. Then sthanadakke dichandi praktavat shleshmano vadham. What I am reciting now is not from Ashtanga Hridaya, this is from Ashtanga Sangraha. Sthanadakke dichandi praktavad shleshmano vadham. So that is another option. First you go for shleshma, then pitta, then come for vayu. Then there is another options. Kabha pitta anilananye kramadahustayorapi. So there are multiple options explained, and beautifully the debate is contained or concluded by a statement that you have to listen. Please look into it. That statement is Vijnaya karma bhisvaisvaihi doshodregam yatha balam bheshajam yojel tatra tandri kuryanna tu kramam. Vijnaya karmabhi swaihi doshodregam yadha balam. Swaihi karmabhihi doshodregam yadha balam vijnaya bheshajam yojayel tatra bheshajam yojayed. You apply, you put the medicine in place. Natu kramam kuryad. Don't follow any standard course of administration. Natu kramam kuryad. So that is more important, and that is the wisdom that Vagbhada is trying to impart. This is very important. You may not find this sort of reconciliation or consensus stance in many other samhitas. So that is the beauty of Vagbhada. Vijnaya karmabhi swaiswaihi doshodregam yadhabalam bheshajam yojed. So the freedom is completely given to the Vaidya. Don't follow any standard rule while dealing with a patient. You are the person to judge, you are the patient to assess, and you have complete freedom to do things accordingly. But while doing such a thing, you have to take care of many things. That is what we are going to see in the next line in Ashtanga Hridaya. What is that? Prayoga shamayedvyadhimegam yonyamudirael nasau vishuddhaha shuddhastu shamayed yo nakopayed. Prayoga shamayedvyadhimegam yonyamudirael nasau vishuddhaha. Prayogah shamayed vyadhim egam yaha anyam udirayed asau na vishuddhaha. Yaha prayogah, that prayoga, here prayoga means upakrama chikilsa, that chikilsa which may give shamana to one vyadhi. Prayoga shamayed vyadhim egam, but simultaneously or thereafter anyam vyadhim udirayed, anyam vyadhim udirayed, which does udirana, triggering of anyam vyadhim, of a different disease. Asau, that treatment is na vishuddhaha, cannot be called as shuddha chikilsa, vishuddha chikilsa. Then there is a quick jerk question. Then what is shuddha chikilsa? Shuddhaha tu yaha shamayed na kobayed cha, shamayed na kobayed cha, shamayed yo na kobayed. So it should contain the disease perfectly and should not initiate a second disease process. Should not initiate a second disease process. So here he is putting a challenge in front of us. Can you stick on to Shuddha Chikitsa? Can you stick on to Shuddha Chikitsa? This is a great concept, but unfortunately, this has become some sort of a counterfeit currency these days. It's a fake currency these days. Nobody is there after the concept of Shuddha Chikitsa. But when you go through, when you browse through the way in which Ayurveda is supposed to practice, say when we focus more on Chikitsa Sthanam than Sutra Sthanam, we can see that there are situations where Ashuddha Chikitsa is advised. No issue. You may be forced to do Ashuddha Chikitsa on Atyaiga situations, but you should have a perfect understanding. You should have a perfect understanding that it is a Ashuddha Chikitsa and how it is an Ashuddha Chikitsa and how it can be addressed after one particular stage of the issue, after one particular stage of the management, or after one particular stage of the course of the treatment. So when you are doing it with full conviction, full confidence, and full understanding of the situation, I think that is permitted. That is what we will see in many situations of disease management in Chikitsa Sthana. But in Sutra Sthana, you are not given any excuse for running after an Ashuddha Chikitsa, because Sutra Sthana envisages the ideal situations. So again, interestingly, you see, when you are going through this part, there is no any compulsion from the side of Acharya that you should go for Shuddha Chikitsa. He never ever mentions it. You should go for Shuddha Chikitsa. No, but you should have an understanding what is Shuddha Chikitsa, what is Shuddha Chikitsa, and what is not. That is what we are seeing here. Prayoga shamayed vyadhimegam yonyamudirayed nasau vishuddhaha. Shuddhastu shamayed yona kopayed. So with that, he is concluding one part of standard upakrama. One part of standard upakrama. Now we have to understand the finer aspects, how this unmarga gamana happens. And one more point I would like to add at this point before moving to the next sloka. We are repeatedly seeing the words shamana and kopana here. Chayeva jayadosham kupitam tu avirodhayan so kopa came, then sarva kopa came, prayoga shamayed vyadhim, then shama came, then shamayed yona kopayed, shamana and kopana come. There are other situations where you are seeing this word in a sequential way. Number one was the definition of chaya, kopa, and shamana. Sosthanasthasya samada vigara asambhava shamaha. But on a different situation, we have seen that shamanam, kopanam, swasthahidam, dravyamidi trutha. Shamanam, kopanam, swasthahidam, dravyamidi trutha. Acharya Charaka explains it in a little bit twisted way, which later Vagbhada modified this way. Charaka says, Kinjid dosha prashamanam, kinjid dhadu pradushanam. Kinjid dosha prashamanam, kinjid dhadu pradushanam, swastavruttehidam kinjid. So we find three situations while explaining or categorizing dravyas there. Kinjid dosha prashamanam, kinjid dhadu pradushanam, which Vagbhada made shamanam, kopanam. So dhadu pradushanam was converted to kopanam. I hope there is some clarity in what I was explaining earlier. Kopanam was coined by Vagbhada to replace dhadu pradushanam. Kopanam was used by Vagbhada to replace dhadu pradushanam. So that is, the picture is more clear. That means whenever you are discussing about kopanam, you have to think about the involved dhadu or dushya, I would say, because pradushta dhadu is no more dhadu, it is dushya. So kinjit dhadu pradushanam is equated as kopanam. So that should be taken into account. Then swastavruttehidam, that is Vagbhada uses the same term. Shamanam, kopanam, swastahitam. So these concepts also to be brought while explaining this chaya eva jayed dosham kupitam tu avirodhayan. Aharascha viharascha yasya dosha gunai samaha dhadubir viguno yascha srodasam sapradushagaha. Another context. Aharascha viharascha yasya dosha gunaihi samaha dhadubir viguno yascha srodasam sapradushagaha. So ahara and vihara, which is dosha sama, will switch on the chaya, because vruddhi samanaihi sarvesham viparitair viparyayaha. But that is not sufficient to bring about a srodo dushti. That is not sufficient. Then what else we need? Yasyad dosha gunai samaha dhadu virviguno yascha. That should be dhadu viguna. Dhadu viguna means virodhi viruddha. So that should be dhadu viruddha as well. That should be dhadu viruddha as well. Then only the srodo dushti happens. Then only we can assign the condition as kupita. Then only we can assign it as kupita. So kopa should be understood in a different perspective here. Not here. This is the original concept, and that is what you have to carry forward wherever you are discussing about dosha kopa. This is very, very important. So there is a distinct difference between chaya and kopa. In chaya, you are supposed to bring about simple shamana, fine, no issue. But in kopa, you are supposed to be more cautious. In chaya, you are just applying the vritti samane sarvesham rule. But in kopa, you have to be more cautious. You have to think about the substratum in which the situation is settled. That is very, very important, which is going to define and refine the course of the entire process. So regarding these three terms, shamanam, kopanam, swasthahitam, shamanam, even though it creates a feeling that is perfect, even though it creates a feeling that it is perfect, it is not so. That is why we have got another term called swasthahitam. Shamanam is very specific. It works only in the given context. If you go beyond that context with a shamanam, it is going to be dhatu pradushanam. A shamana dravya can be used only up to swasthanasthasya samata vikara sambhava shamaha. That is why shamana is not swasthahita. That is why shamana is not swasthahita. Shamanam, when used out of context, will cause dhatu pradushanam. Whereas swasthahitam is the one which you are supposed to use almost unconditionally. So there are many things which are to be taken from different chapters, different contexts, to understand this idea very precisely and broadly. Fine. So with this we have concluded one way of doing upakrama. And now in between we came to explain all these things about kopa and viruddha and all these things. And in kopa we found that it is unmarga gamana. So there is a point of debate, or there is a situation where you are supposed to explain something about the potentials of unmarga gamana. So Vagbheda places the next shloka in the correct situation. What is that? We will see. व्यायामाद् उष्मणस्तैक्ष्ण्याद् अहिदाचरणादपि कोष्ठाद् शाखास्थिमर्माणि द्रुतत्वान्मारुतस्य च दोषायान्ति. व्यायामाद् उष्मणस्तैक्ष्ण्याद् अहिदाचरणादपि कोष्ठाद् शाखास्थिमर्माणि द्रुतत्वान्मारुतस्य च दोषायान्ति. व्यायामाद् ऊष्मणः तैक्ष्ण्याद् अहित आचरणाद् मारुतस्य द्रुतत्वाद् च दोषाः कोष्ठाद् शाखास्थिमर्माणि यान्ति. That is unmargagamanam. That is unmargagamanam. So during this course, it has specific intention of getting attached to dusya and make it morbid. So these are some factors, some specific factors which can be accommodated in the list of nimitta karana which have learned earlier. So this is here in this context, he is trying to give some sort of a specific things related to our own activities most of the time, and they are vyayama. Vyayama brings about dhadu shaidhilyam initially, especially if you are indulging in adivyayama, there is no question. So vyayama temporarily brings about shidhila doshada. So those doshas which were well settled in their own seats, their own track, their own pathways, their own srodhas, get dislodged, sometimes temporarily. If it is adivyayama, it is permanently, and they tend to move out of place. So from their base seats in the koshta, they tend to move to shaghasthi Ushmanaha taikshnyad. When the Agni is tikshna, again that tend to dislodge the doshas from their seats, and they are propelled to the shakha asthi. All ahitacharanas, kalarthakarmanam yogo hinam ithyadi matra. It's generally a broad statement, but precisely we have to understand that ahitacharana which can be samana in terms of guna or karma for any dosha, which will cause an increase, a vriddhi, which will be proceeding further to get out of their seats and start moving to the shaghasthi marma. Ahidacharnad. Marudasya dhrutatvad. That is very important. Vayu has got such a wonderful capacity to dislodge even samadosha from their seat and to take them out to from koshta to shaghasthi marma. So that is also a possibility. Due to these reasons, what is happening? This doshas in general start moving from their seats in the koshta to shakha asthi marma. That means the other two roga margas. This should be kept in our mind while understanding the dosha vikalpa of many doshas, many disease conditions. Fine. Then what do they do? Dhrutatvan marudasya cha doshayandi. Then once they reach such places, that unmarga gamana places, what they will do, we will see. Next shloka. Tadha tebhyo Srodo mukha vishodhanad vruddhya abhishyandanad padad koshtam vayoscha nigrahad. Tadha tebhyah Srodo mukha vishodhanad vruddhya abhishyandanad padad koshtam vayoscha nigrahad. Tebhyah, from those seats, tadha, afterwards, srodo mukha vishodhanad. For this movement, they need a srotas. So eventually, when a srodomukha vishodhana happens, srodomukhas become shuddha. What happens? They come back to koshtam. Koshtam yandi, dosham yandi. Srodhanad koshtam yandi. Koshtam yandi. And due to one piece of vriddhi, it dissolves, and when shakhasthima, if the vriddhi continues and if no dusha is getting involved in that course, that vriddhi will lead the doshas further through the srodhas and they will come back to the koshta. Abhishyandanad koshtam yandi. Abhishyandanad. Abhishyandam is something like viparita, opposite of leenata. When doshas are leena, you cannot dislodge them. So when an abhishyanda happens, this leenavastha is reversed. They come to an abhishyanda avastha, and abhishyanda tends to drag the doshas further to the koshta. From the shakha asthi marma, they tend to drag the koshta, doshas further to the koshta. And the fourth possibility is vayoho nigrahad doshaha koshtam yandi. When Vayu was taking this dosha from the koshta to the capacity of Vayu, but once the Vayu has become controlled, contained, the force which was propelling them to the shakhasti marma is withdrawn. Then again they tend to come back to this koshta. Vayoho nigrahad cha doshaha koshtam yandi. So a cycle has happened. Vyayamadi factors cause the movement from the koshta to the shakhasti marma. Sometimes we have to bring all our understanding. Yatra ghasanga khavaigunyad vyadhis tatrobajayade. Vyanena rasadhaduruhi vikshebojita karmana yugapat sarvado ajasram dehe vikshipyade sada. Vikshipyamanaha dhavaigunyad rasa sajjadi yatra tasmin vigaram gurude ghe varshamivato. All these concepts are to be brought in the understanding of these words, these lines. So if the situation fails, what is happening? Either they may get stuck in the channels, creating a morbid environment within, or if these four chances are happening, that means Srodho Mukha Vishodhana Vruddhya Abhishyanda Vayoho Nigraha, then they drain down back to the koshta. And once they reach back in the koshta, what is happening? That is what the next line is. Tatrasthascha vilamberan bhuyo hedu pradikshinaha. Tatrasthaha doshaha, that means those which have come back to the koshta, vilamberan, they will wait for what? Bhuyaha hedu pradikshinaha. Bhuyaha hedu pradikshinaha. Expecting further episodes of hedu, they will wait in the koshta. Because basically they are doshas and they tend to look for causes, hedus always. Bhuyaha hedu pratikshinaha vilamberen. So these lines throws light to the events happening behind the dosha gadi. Dosha gadi from the koshta to the shakha asthimarma, that means the other roga margas. And this document can be used therapeutically in many situations. Very important. This could be considered as the baseline observation for Shodhana Chikitsa. This can be considered as the baseline document for Shodhana Chikitsa. And we have to connect whatever we have learned till date regarding nimitta karana of dosha vruddhi. That means kalartha karmanam yogo hina mithyadi matragaha you have to bring here. Then ahara shayana brahmacharya yukya nishevidaihi, that trayopastambha or whatever you call it, that should be brought here. Then Ushnena Yukta Rukshadya Vayo Kurvandi Sanjayam, all these things you have to bring here. Then one more point which I don't know whether we have already discussed or we will discuss. That means iti kala subhavoyam आहारादि वशात् पुनः क्षयादीन्ययान्ति सद्योभिः दोषाः कालेऽपि वा न तु इति कालस्वभावोऽयम्. Then one more point is that स्वस्थवृत्तम् अभिप्रेत्य व्याधौ व्याधिवशेन तु कृत्वा शीतोष्णवृष्टिना प्रतीकारं यथा यथं प्रयोजयेत् क्रियां प्राप्तां क्रियाकालं न हापयेत्. So there are multiple situations where this understanding is connected to, and now we will see how this situation can be tackled. That is what there in the next line. So this idea, that means from the Koshta they move to the Shakha with these elements: Vyayamad, Ushmanastaikshniyad, Ahidajaranad, Drutatvanmarutasya, and they can be brought back by Vruddhya, Abhishyandanad, Pagad. I do not know whether I explained Paga. I think I missed it. Vruddhya, Abhishyandanad, Pagam. Pagam is the change in situation of the dosha, change in the status of the dosha. Pagad, Koshtam, Vayoho Nigrahad. So if you meet with a situation where the doshas are situated in the shakha or asthi-marma, you have to look into these options. How you are going to bring into swasthana, that is koshta, because swasthanasthasya samada vigara sambhavah shamaha. So when you are trying to bring about shamana, you have to consider these factors. What are you going to do? Whether it is Vruddhi, whether it is Abhishyandana, whether it is Srodomukha Vishodhana, whether it is Paga, or whether it is Vayoho Nigraha. These are your options: Srodomukha Vishodhana, Vruddhi, Abhishyandana, Paga, Vayoho Nigraha. All these options you can take in containing and bringing them back to swasthana. Swasthanastasya samada vigara sambhavaha. And we are literally using all these situations in our clinical practice. We are using all these situations. I can give examples maybe in the next class, because I think it is almost 50 minutes now after starting the session. I don't think we may be able to move over to the next sloka and explain them in detail. So I think we will start our question answer session, because we have covered a lot of finer aspects of the concept, and I expect a lot of questions also. So I do not know whether I elaborated the concept too much, putting you in some sort of a labyrinth of theory, some sort of a very complicated network of theory. If so, I'm really sorry for that. If not, I expect a few good questions. And Dr. Vaidya Nilesh, I think we will conclude our session here, and we will go through the question answer session.
Yes, sir, sure. Sir, we can see a few questions.
Obviously, I don't expect a lot of questions, because the idea, I can hear you, because I think I think we have to give at least 1 day to think about whatever we have discussed so far, because I think they were I think little bit out of the box explanations, I understand. So they may not be able to frame some questions all of a sudden, but I hope there will be a good questions from this.
Yes, sir. The first question is how to bring Srotomukha Vishodhan in patient.
Yeah, the questions I also see how to bring those Srodomukha Vishodhana in patient, how the Paga of doshas takes place, all these things. But the thing is, I would like to have questions from what we have already explained, because most of these questions which are there in the chat box will be cleared in the next part of this adhyaya. So I think we will come to that in due course. But still, of course, being the first question, I can answer it. The question was how